Have you ever wondered how poverty came to be? What are some of the causes to global poverty? In this video, we will answer these along with other tough questions surrounding global poverty. But before we look into the causes of global poverty, let's define poverty itself. Poverty is general scarcity, death, or the state of one who lacks a certain amount of material possessions or money. %80 of the world's population lives on less than $10 a day. According to Borgen magazine, 5 causes of poverty are unequal distribution of wealth, colonization, discrimination, poor governance, and environmental degradation. Let's take a closer look at each of these causes individually. First up is unequal distribution of wealth. All over the world, the rich continue to get richer and the poor continue to get poorer. There are rising disparities among distribution of resources in developing countries that perpetuate the cycle of poverty. In most places, the rich receive the largest share of income while the poor receive a shockingly smaller portion. If the wealth is not redistributed or incomes are not made to be more equal, poverty will always remain a huge issue. Second is colonization. Continuing with the topic of income inequality, countries that began their modern history with large inequalities evolve into societies that continue to hold their patterns of wealth distribution. Thus, countries that experience colonization and slavery have trouble getting rid of the institutions that provided higher class citizens with more money and resources. Colonization often leads to discrimination. Thus, those who were deemed inferior were more likely to become impoverished. This is seen all over the world, including in the United States, where a person's skin color or religion can play a huge role in the way he or she is treated in society. Those who are discriminated against often do not get the same opportunities and benefits as the rest of the country, so education and income levels are usually lower. As seen during apartheid in South Africa, the class that was favored received more advantages and rights than their peers. Another leading cause of poverty is poor governance. Governance does not solely reflect the government, but also the civil societies, networks, or markets that oversee the management of a country's social and economic resources for development. If corruption and political instability are rampant in these institutions, then the state will fail in fulfilling its responsibilities for the citizens and remain weak. In turn, high rates of poverty are usually found within the countries with corrupt leaders, weak state institutions, and no rule of law. The fifth and final cause we will be addressing is environmental degradation. Although often overlooked, environmental degradation can have a huge impact on the poverty rates and the well-being of people. If resources are depleted due to climate change, natural disasters, and deforestation, then citizens are more likely to be living in poverty. Environmental problems have led to shortages of water, food, and materials for housing, as well as other essential resources. Without these items, the poor will not only remain poor, but also increase their chances of premature death. Clearly, poverty is an issue that needs to hold our collective attention and spur our collective action.